Hello, everyone. How are you? Good to see you all. Hi, YouTuber Robin, Whispering, Teresa, Broken Ranch, Minnie, Panthers, Teresa, Panda Bear's mom. Good to see you all. And if I haven't greeted you personally, thank you so much for being here. Truly appreciate it. Hello, SL. Hello, everyone. We have some interesting news that occurred. So, we're going to be talking about Madeline Soto today and justice for Madeline Soto. And I want us to remember that this is about Madeline Soto, 13 years old, whose life was taken. Well, her boy, her mother's boyfriend is being charged with taking her life, and his trial, as well as SAing her for 7 years, or 6 years old, actually. 6 years since she was 7 years old. So, and the reason they knew that is he video recorded it on his phone often. So, sad case. Hold on one second. There was a members live and it was on a different level. It was a class, but I posted it. You can all take that class for free if you want. Some of you wanted to take it with me, so it's in the crime timers level, because I have to put a lot of work into that. So, like, for instance, for the next class, I'm making study guide questions to quiz you all. So join if you want. Otherwise, you can do it on your own, whichever you want, but both are available to you to study with me, to learn it with me. I'll quiz you. We'll do it that way, or you can do it on your own. So thank you all for checking. So Madeline went to her birthday party at her grandmother's home in Florida, is where they're from, on February 25th, 2024. Now, if that date sounds familiar to you, that too is the last time Sebastian Rogers was seen alive. Okay. Then her mother was not at the birthday party. It was the maternal grandmother throwing the party. Mother, Jen Soto, was not at the party. Boyfriend, Stephan Sterns, drove Madeline home. And mother got home from work, Jen Soto, and decided that she was really, really tired and had a headache and needed her rest. So she sent her 13-year-old daughter off to bed to sleep with this man, monster, in the picture. It wasn't an uncommon event. It wasn't unusual. It was what happened. And so 13-year-old Madeline would share a bed, whether it was with her mommy and Stephan or Stephan alone. Very inappropriate. And the night after her birthday, Madeline was no longer alive, but we didn't know that because it started as a missing person case. Now, this man is being charged, and I'm going to give you the background on Maddie's story and his charges, etc. This monster was charged with over 60 SA photos, videos of Madeline Soto on his phone. His first trial, which was supposed to begin this Tuesday, jury selection, we are not sure it's going to occur. It is on the over 60 charges of SA against Madeline Soto. The second trial will be for M of Madeline Soto, because, my friends, Madeline was not seen alive after that night when she went to bed, although she was reported missing because the mother's boyfriend, Stephan Sterns, said he dropped her off at school. But the school said she never arrived. Well, we had good investigators who checked all the cameras around and saw Sterns driving with someone in the passenger seat who was slumped to the left, not a normal position. And they realized it was Maddie, who was already deceased that morning. Now, this hearing is important because he has sat in prison, first arrested on the 60 counts of SA, then the M. And I have the press conference. I want to share with you a press conference. And then we're also going to watch his police interview. But before we do that, I also want to share the story of Maddie, because this is her story, okay? But he has sat in jail claiming to be not guilty. And now, let me show you. I think it was 15 minutes before close of workday. Let me double click here. Okay, 15 minutes before close of workday, 4:45, 10 p.m. on Friday. Let me make sure you're seeing this with me. Yes. Oh, no, you aren't. Okay, hold on. Let me get to it. Okay, hold on, my friends. I had it up here. Okay. So on July 18th, 2025 at 4:46 p.m., just in 15 minutes before the close of day, business day. Why? Probably because they wanted as little attention to it as possible. There is a plea, a notice of a hearing filed. And that notice is State of Florida versus Stephan Michael Sterns. Notice of hearing, and all it says right here is plea. So it is expected that he will be pleading. And it's expected that he will be pleading guilty, apparently, to both the SA and the M charges. Now, let me tell you a little bit of something about the difference in the charges. Hold on. I don't know why this is happening. I'm sorry, you all. I don't know why the screen went black. The difference in the charges is, sorry, y'all, is that there is no D-pen for the S charges. Okay, let me see what's happening here. Excuse me. There's no D-pen for the S charges. And there is the D-pen included in the M charges, okay? So what is expected to happen is they believe possibly that he will go in and possibly plead guilty to both and stop both trials. Or we don't know, right? Some outlets are saying maybe he's going to go in and plead guilty to the SA one, since we're bleeding right up to that trial, and stop that trial. We won't know till tomorrow at 1:30 Eastern, and we are going to be streaming it here live. So join me, please, to see justice for Madeline Soto. And I do hope, if he does plead guilty, that unlike Koberger, he will have to speak what he did instead of answer yes. Because I feel the family, the loved ones, he needs to speak out if he's not going to go to trial and he's going to plead guilty, and say what he is guilty of, not just say yes, right? Not just say yes. Hi, butterflies. Hi, Adriana. So I want to hear him tell what he did, when he did it, why he did it. Was Maddie P? Did he have a temper? Did something else happen? Did Maddie turn him down? Was Maddie P? Is that why those coins, flipping the coin for daddy and mommy duty? All that stuff going on there? 13 years old, just turned, right? So we are going to be listening to the press conference this evening. But first, I want to share, and then we're going to watch his police report. But I want to share with you a little bit about Maddie because I want us to remember why we're here, why we are here. Because Maddie is 13 years old when he took her life. She had just turned 13. Okay. And new details emerged, which were quite concerning, somewhat into the case, is that canines had found hit on bodily, like decomposing in his car, right? When they thought he was driving her around. It's just, there's a lot. Okay. So there's an absolute lot, and we're going to go through the whole timeline. I don't want to jump around for you because I want to give it to you. I want to read it exactly as we should. And it's Madeline Soto because I do want her story to be heard. I'm going to mute you for 1 second while I find what I had pulled up. There we go. Maddie Soto, Madeline, was reported missing February 26, 2024, the very same day as Sebastian Rogers. She was found on March 1st, dumped in a grassy area, left alone in a part of Osceola County in Florida. Sterns had been sighted in that area, and someone vigilant called it in. Sterns was the boyfriend of Jennifer Soto. Jennifer Soto is the mother who sent Madeline to sleep with her boyfriend. Not just once. Jennifer Soto has no charges against her. Jennifer Soto did do a police interview in exchange for immunity with that interview. So anything she said in that interview cannot be used against her. But that is not a whole, if there's other things that come up that don't apply to that, she can receive charges. And I just kind of want to clarify that. She doesn't have complete immunity, okay? She has immunity from the interview that she did. So he dated the mom. And now he's facing first-degree M. Will he plead guilty tomorrow to first-degree M? Will he plead guilty to 60 charges of SAing Madeline? Will he plead guilty to just one? According to the report, Northport police say when they arrived at Stephan Sterns' parents' house, Sterns' mother was walking around the woods near the home calling Maddie's name. Interesting, right? The Orange County Sheriff's Office had found surveillance video they believe showed Maddie. I'm giving you little clips. They believe showed Maddie the morning she was reported missing in the front seat of Stern's car, slumped over to her left. An abnormal way for a person to be seated, the report says. So rather than take her to school, he put her in the vehicle in the passenger seat, probably buckled her in, I don't know, and drove her around like he was taking her to school. There were documents that were released that a canine search was conducted in his vehicle, like I told you. This has kind of made my stomach turn. That's why I shared it with you a little earlier. During the search, the canine was alerted to chemicals found specifically when human bodies are decomposing. Sterns told police Maddie was at school. He thought she was there. He dropped her off, and then he went to a smoke shop. However, an officer said, "After you dropped her off, did you go directly to the smoke shop?" And Sterns said, "I did. I went directly to the smoke shop." However, In a different interview, he changed his story. In this newly released interview, Sterns tells police that Maddie was asleep in the passenger seat of the car when he went into the vape shop. Because remember, friends, the truth doesn't change. The truth doesn't change. My friends, please don't use all caps unless you've had permission versus eyes like Minnie has. Because it just feels like you're screaming at everyone. Minnie Panthers has some eye issues going on. That's why she's using caps. But please, my friends, thank you. And no cussing. Thank you. How was she positioned in the front seat? The officer asks, and Stearns says, she was leaned back in the seat, just kind of conked out and napping. The officer asks, well, where was her head in relation to the seat? And Stearns says, well, up against the seat. I think against it. So officer says, well, this was the seat. Was he leaning back or seat? This was the seat, leaning back or seat. Stearns says it was leaning back, and she leaned the seat back so that she could recline. According to court documents in law enforcement, Stearns lived with Jennifer, Madeline, and another roommate on and off. He would sometimes take Maddie to school and would also sometimes sleep in the same bed as both Madeline and Jennifer, according to the roommates and the court records. In February of 2024, after he reportedly took her to school, hours later, when Madeline's mom went to pick her up from school, she was told Maddie had never made it to school that day. What Madeline's mother knows, we don't know as of right now. Stearns is charged with the first-degree M in the death of the girl. He is also charged in a separate case with some 60 counts of SA and possession of CSAM after thousands of graphic photos, some including Maddie, were found on his cell phone and saved to a Google Drive account. He has pled not guilty to those charges. Maddie had just celebrated her 13th birthday. Her birthday was February 22nd, 2024. It was the last she would celebrate. February 25th, Grandma had the party. Maddie went to Hunters Creek Middle School in Orlando, though she lived with her mom, Sterns, and another adult in Kissimmee, Florida. Maddie was found in Osceola County on March 1st. Maddie Soto was last seen at 8:30 a.m. but didn't make it to school Monday, February 26. Now, pause. That sighting no longer proves to be true. That was her mother saying she saw her in the morning and later on admitted she did not see her that morning. Tuesday, February 27th, because it became a missing child search. The boyfriend allegedly told mom he dropped her off, right? Okay, thank you. Thank you, Women's Warrior. Appreciate you. So I have two with permission, everyone. Okay. So there's two with permission for their eyes. So just to let you know, thank you. On Tuesday, February 27th, the search was already on and missing posters were released. And that is when the search officially began. Wonder why they waited from Monday at 3:30 to Tuesday at February 27th. Tuesday night, Maddie Soto's mom, and we remember that infamous body cam interview, speaks with Fox 35 would-be suspect appears in the background. Remember the body cam coming into the store and then the talking, and then he's in the background? Wednesday afternoon on February 28th, Orange County Sheriff John Mina hosts a press conference about the ongoing search. Remember, they solved this very quickly. Now, what if they had not responded to that lead, saying they think they saw the boyfriend or someone on the side of the road? I don't even know if they knew it was the boyfriend. Someone on the side of the road and it looks suspicious. What if they had just not checked on that? They wouldn't have found Maddie. But because they were following every lead that came in, they found her. They solved it. Because of their great police work, they knew the boyfriend had things on his phone. They arrested him immediately for that before the murder. And I just think it's really so. Do you guys, I haven't heard, where is her mother lately? So he does a press conference, and we're going to listen to the press conference and a press conference and a police interview. Mom's boyfriend, Stephan Sterns, is arrested on Wednesday night, February 28th. And he's of unrelated charges, that's of the SA charges, named prime suspect in the Madeline Soto case because she was missing. Thursday, February 29th, Kissimmee Police Department releases Stephan Sterns' arrest affidavit. Thursday, February 29th, the body language expert assesses Stephan Sterns' body language in a Zoom interview with Jen Soto. And of course, March 1st, after she was found, he dodged questions while being transferred from Orange County to Osceola County. And that is when on March 1st, oh, that was before, excuse me, when they transferred him before they found her deceased. Friday afternoon, officials had said they were confident that Maddie Soto was no longer with us. That afternoon, after they said that, they did a multi-agency search for Maddie near the area where he was last seen. And her body was later found that afternoon. Very sad story. So many children. April 15th, Maddie Soto's family and community members gathered at a vigil Saturday to remember the 13-year-old who was found deceased days after she was reported missing in February. Very sad. So he's supposed to stand trial Tuesday for the SA. That's the first trial. And we are expecting him to come in and plead guilty tomorrow to both, which will take away both trials and will save his life. So for the M charges, it is a capital case, meaning the D pen is on the table. For the SA charges, although there are over 60 of them, there's no D pen on the table. It is a, excuse me, it is life in prison is what he could be facing. So is this plea hearing, will he plead guilty to both or just to the SA since it's ready to begin? I'm assuming both because I don't think he'd get the offer again, right? They're probably not going to give that offer again. So in my opinion, they offered him a one-time offer for a plea deal. Am I there? No. Am I a lawyer? No. But I think if they're trying to do something to, work with him, they would want, if they're going to give him something, they would want something, and that would be justice for Madeline and for him to admit what he did, if indeed he did it. And it's funny how you have some, like we had Kohlberger saying for 3 years he didn't do it, and then he stood right there and admitted that he did it. And I really wish he had to talk it out, talk through it. It was really chilling, even listening to him. Some of you were with me, say yes, yes, and admit it. That was very chilling to me. But I think even more important and powerful is to hear them say what they did. So the families don't have to wonder, is this the person? Make them talk about it. Teresa, I was surprised too that they offered him a deal. But let's see, I don't know why they did, but there's a reason. They probably wanted to make sure that he was found guilty, right? And he's found guilty if he makes a plea. But we'll hear a lot about it tomorrow. We're going to stream it together. We're going to be streaming it together. And right now, what I want to do is show you the first press conference, and then we're going to listen to his police interview. Okay. And this is, I think they're both credit to Court TV. So let me get my Court TV out there. There we go. I've already got that up there. Okay. Robin, we will be thinking of you and praying for you through that, my dear friend. If anyone's in the chat and asking questions, I'm sorry. Let me go ahead real quick and see if you had any questions. My bad. Okay. Woman's Warrior, I am so sorry. I forgot about that. Please forgive me. Yes, I agree, Minnie. Jen served her daughter up on a silver platter, allegedly, my opinion. Hello, everyone. So Woman's Warrior thinks guilty plea SA charges, not guilty to murder. Okay. Oh, guilty to M. Okay. Hi, JH. Aloha. Okay. Okay, so let's go ahead and keep going. Oh, wait. Jen was allegedly checked into mental health hospital after the last interview with LE, but her family are keeping her hidden and are very supportive, allegedly. Thank you. Well, you know what? Her daughter's not here, and she sent her off to sleep with him that night. So I'm sorry, but my empathy for her right now is not high. I apologize. Let me go ahead and go to the police press conference. And then after that, we'll watch the Sterns spinning his tails.
Crimes being committed. It was during this examination that we learned we needed to act swiftly to remove the suspect, Stephan Sterns, from our streets. Despite the arrest, our investigation into her disappearance remained ongoing. We understand the importance of thoroughly exploring every lead and piece of evidence. The Kissimmee Police Department, along with other law enforcement agencies in Central Florida, continue their search for Madeline for the next several days following her disappearance, and we turn to the public for help. During this time, our investigators combed through a significant number of tips, and on March 1st, we received information placing Stern's vehicle in a rural area of St. Cloud, where ultimately Madeline's body was discovered. We are all deeply saddened by the outcome of Madeline's disappearance. The Kissimmee Police Department continues to piece together the timeline leading up to the events that occurred. I want to address some questions we are receiving from the media in everyone's effort to keep the community up to date on this tragedy. At this time, Sterns is facing a total of 60 charges related to our investigation. This includes sexual battery, lewd and lascivious molestation, and unlawful possession of materials depicting sexual performance by a child. These charges reflect the meticulous work of our law enforcement community. Our detectives also are working closely with the State's Attorney's Office for the 9th Judicial Circuit and the Medical Examiner's Office on the investigation. Death investigations are complex. Tasks like forensic analysis and thorough interviews are crucial and require careful attention. It is vital to address these misconceptions in the pursuit of justice while preserving the integrity to the case. During an investigation such as this one, we gather additional information from individuals close to the deceased. Each person interviewed is treated as involved until proven otherwise. This is a standard protocol to ensure all the facts are uncovered. During our investigation,
Isn't that a nice press conference where they're explaining their procedures, their investigative techniques, that normal protocol? all of that. Wouldn't that be nice to have that kind of information? And it's accepting. And then if a police officer says, and there's things I'm not going to share, it's not your business. But it's nice what they can share, like she is, to give that explanation. Here is what we've done. Things that don't affect what they're trying to accomplish, but showing and telling the people something's being done. Exactly, whispering. I was getting, that was kind of my passive aggressive punch to Sumner.
We have interviewed many individuals. Each interview has been vital to our understanding of the case. We are reviewing all of the information we received and are following up on every lead. Attention to detail and the diligence are the most important aspects of this investigation. We are committed to transparency and will provide updates when possible. Madeline's story has touched the hearts of many. Rest assured, our department is diligently working on the investigation. And while we appreciate the public's interest, we must prioritize the integrity of the investigation. We appreciate your support and understanding as we gather the facts. We intend to release additional information in the future, providing more details that we do not compromise the ongoing investigation. We vow to do everything in our power to ensure Madeline's memory is honored with justice. Our detectives are dedicated to pursuing every lead, uncovering every fact, and holding those responsible accountable.
I'm very glad that she said, talking about Madeline, what Madeline deserves, right? Justice for Madeline. Very well spoken as well.
Now I will open it up for any questions.
Steve, I have a question. We know that you're working behind the scenes during this investigation to make sure everything is in order, but what can you tell us new today that we don't already know?
I don't have anything new that you don't already know, other than our detectives are working tirelessly day in and day out to ensure, all the facts are uncovered in this investigation.
Chief Holland, is the mother a suspect or a person of interest in this investigation? And also with the videos that you uncovered, is there any evidence of the mother's involvement on any of these videos?
So everyone that was close to Madeline is considered suspect until we have proven otherwise.
Everyone close is considered a suspect until proven otherwise, meaning no one's cleared. But what goes along with that is, yes, Grady Judd, oh, wonderful. But what goes along with that is fully interviewing, fully searching, fully following fully investigating those individuals. Because usually, often, most of the time, it's someone the child knows.
Chief, how close are we able to know what actually happened to Madeline Soto?
Well, this is a very sensitive and, it's very intricate. We want to make sure that we uncover every single fact and all the evidence before, we don't want to put a timeline on it, basically, because the detectives are very meticulous in what they do. And we want to be sure that everything is uncovered that possibly can.
Chief, can you release any information about the manner in which Maddie died at this point?
No, ma'am, we are still waiting on the medical examiner's report.
Chief, do you believe Maddie was killed inside of the family's home or somewhere else?
We're still uncovering all of those details. I'm not going to speculate on that until we have the facts.
Chief, can you tell us if Stephan Sterns acted alone in all of this?
We're still uncovering all the evidence. I don't want to speculate whether he was or not. We will wait until the investigation, is completed to make that determination.
Has Stephan Sterns said he acted alone, or what has he said in interviews with you? Since we know he's in jail.
Yes.
What has he told you about other people's involvement, if any?
He has invoked his right to a lawyer, so we have not spoke with him.
Is there any time that you can expect an update for us? The public is asking every single day, and we understand that you're working on the investigation, but we would like to give them something.
I don't want to rush my detectives. I think it's paramount that they take their time. And, Mr. Sterns is not going anywhere. he's in jail and he's going to be there for a while. So my detectives, I want them to be, just look at every single detail and make sure, but I don't want to give a timeline at this point.
Chief, you mentioned you're working closely with the medical examiner. What does that relationship kind of look like, and what information are they able to release to you before that exam is complete?
So not really. I wouldn't say that they've released an information. We depend on the medical examiner's report for our report. So we're going to have to wait until they release that report.
Do you believe there are any additional victims?
No, it appears that this all was isolated to the home.
I'm still trying to get a sense of things. Do you still feel like you have more questions than answers at this point?
I think our questions are being answered slowly but surely.
Maddie lost her life due to strangulation, is what the report ended up coming out. Okay, let's go. I want to stop here. He's in jail. Yep, eating his root beer barrels. I want to go to his interview, and we can always come back to this. But this was really, he was caught quickly for different charges. He was their person of interest on the M charges, but they put him in jail, then tossed the M charges on top. Great police work. The way they're explaining how they rule people out, what they're doing. They're not giving away their hand. They're not showing us anything, but they're telling how they work. And that's really appeasing to the public because people just want to know what's being done. And it's not that anything's owed to them, but they care, right? Welcome in, Southern Charm. So we are going to Sterns' interview. Still credit to Court TV. Let me just make sure you're seeing it. Okay. This is the person who will be pleading tomorrow. Watch with me. It is at 1:30 Eastern time tomorrow. I will be streaming it here. And I hope you'll join me and watch it as a family.
I understand that you gave the deputies consent to look through your phone. You didn't? Okay. And you voluntarily gave it to them so they could bring it here to do the extraction and stuff like that. Okay. What do you think was on the phone?
Text messages, emails, phone stuff.
Pictures?
Oh, yeah.
What kind of pictures were on there?
Training card pictures, lightsaber pictures, Disney pictures.
Do you have a Google account?
Yeah.
Do you save pictures to your Google account?
Sometimes. Yeah.
Or is it automatically? I know sometimes phones sync to a cloud and.
Yeah, I think it backs up to Google.
And then sometimes when you reset your phone and your phone updates and puts these apps back on your phone, sometimes they will put the images back on your phone.
I'm not sure.
Okay. Do you have
I assume so.
any pictures of you?
Probably. I mean, went to Disney, took selfies on the train. She got back from Puerto Rico and had her hair braided. We got pictures of that. All sorts of pictures. Family events. I'm not as much of a shutter, but I take them every once in a while.
That's not my sound. That's them bleeping out something. Hi, Blue Eyes. Something's good to see you.
Here's where I'm going to be brutally honest with you. There's your phone. And I'm pretty sure you know what some of those pictures are about. You're a very intelligent person. And I don't want you to discredit yourself by saying you don't know about all the pictures that are on your phone. You understand what I'm saying? So do you want to add to the list of pictures?
I don't know. Should I be talking with a lawyer right now?
That's the moment. That's the moment where his brain's got to be churning. They've got the pictures. They've got the video.
For cognitive load builds. He also gets really quiet and super still. Now he's very still here. He's very guarded, very self-protective. He doesn't make eye contact, and he's very sheepish. So he knows that they're onto something. He's trying to figure out, what do you know, and how far should I go to exposing what was on that camera. So he was going through all these little plethora of things, starting with the text messages. But I wanted you to pay attention to the volume, the tone, and the pitch of his voice. When he is asked questions, when it comes to the text, what happened? His pitch dropped. So when they do that, that's in secretive. That's one of the points of interest that we look for deception. Cluster there, highly deceptive behavior.
And what do you think of this?
Issues that I had given her.
So you're going up here now, still northbound on Jongyang Parkway.
Long, I've been heavily med.
Yes.
So what we're listening to now is on the 27th, they are asking him his route. Okay. They're asking him his route that he took that morning.
And then you drop her off around like
dropped her off around halfway up the road there.
So keep in mind, all of this is still northbound,
Okay.
right? You're still northbound on Jongyang Parkway. So why is your car seen going southbound at 8:10? I'll show you what location it is. McDonald's is over here. At 8:10, your car is seen going southbound at this intersection. So meaning going toward Kissimmee.
I had forgotten something. I had forgotten my gate clicker. I'm sorry. I forgot. I had gone back to the house real quick after we left because I forgot my gate clicker. I actually had to go through the front gate and use my parking pass to grab my clicker. So it was the wrong time. I'm sorry. Like I said, I was guesstimating these times. I'm not a morning person.
Yes, well, this is, I believe, when investigators know they're onto something for sure, because what he's describing doing there makes no common sense as to why you would take the route that he's alleging to have taken here.
Me too. She was looking forward to my visit here. She was looking forward to us all being together. I loved her like she was my own.
A clown with
Sorry, you all, I was talking to you. We are going to transition now to Jen Soto. Okay. Her interview. We have her actual interview here. What we're going to do is I'll play some of it, but I wanted to bring up to you tomorrow, come stream with me the hearing. We're going to see if he pleads guilty to both, just to one, but also I was reading that they're going to be having victim impact statements. So Maddie's loved ones will be speaking. Oh, don't miss that tomorrow. Watch it here. Let's watch it as a family. This is the mother of 13-year-old Madeline Soto. Her name is Jen Soto. Yeah, he said she loved it when they came. But, one of Maddie's friends said that, he and Maddie used to, text each other and talk all the time. Very inappropriate relationship, right? Grooming.
Mates upstairs don't want to share accident. At my house around 8:30 that night. I was Sunday.
My name's Kevin. I work for the Orange County Sheriff's Office. I met Detective Smallwood from the city. The goal, obviously, Kissimmee Police Department's doing most of this investigation. We're at the Orange County Sheriff's Office. Our people, we have resources out there, obviously doing active. So it's kind of a joint effort. So Detective Smallwood's kind of, we're going to go read through the timeline of everything else. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we're going to go from there. All right.
You want me to go through the whole timeline?
Yeah, we'll start with Sunday. Take me through Sunday.
Okay. Sunday. Can I have tissue?
Yes, ma'am. Mention your So actual tissues?
No.
I can give you this whole roll.
So Sunday, birthday party. She spent the whole day at my mom's house. We celebrated with the whole family. I was at work. I just started a new job last week or the week before.
Okay. Where's that at?
Walt Disney World at Coronado Springs, front desk concierge.
Okay.
I was finishing up my last day of, no, it wasn't even my last day of training. I was still in the middle of training. Sunday in the middle of training, I couldn't miss to go to her birthday party. So I went to work. I was with my family all day. She had the best day. She was so happy when I got home and I saw her. At my house around 8:30 that night. I wasn't home. She got dropped off alone. About 10 to 15 minutes later, Stephan showed up.
At your house in Kissimmee?
At my house in Kissimmee, he called me. Or he texted me, I'm not sure. But he let me know he was there and that she was getting ready for bed. She was doing her routine. So she took her nighttime meds and she got in the shower to get ready for bed.
What meds? What does she take?
She takes hydroxyzine.
Okay. What is it for?
It's for anxiety and for sleep.
Okay.
Of course the poor girl has anxiety, right? Look what she's been through for 6 years, since she was 7 years old.
Now, could she take that by herself, or would he have given that to her?
I think she took it by herself. She got home and she had already taken it.
How do you know that?
That's what he told me.
That's what he told you. Okay.
He was there when you got home? You got home, they were already at the apartment? Okay.
I don't like her taking her meds without somebody visually watching her, because I don't want her to accidentally grab the wrong pill. She's comfortable enough to grab the pill bottle, but I'm like, no, I need to watch you take them.
Has there ever been an issue with that in the past, where you took too many or took the wrong thing? Or just like a thought in your mind?
No, just a thought in my mind, just me being hypervigilant. I want to physically watch her take her meds and watch her grab two, take them. I don't ever want there to be an accident of she took too many, or my biggest fear is that she would take Adderall by accident, her daytime meds.
Got it.
I got home around 10:30. I started getting ready for bed myself. I started eating and taking my meds, because I have to take meds. When I went to take my meds, I realized, oh my God, I forgot to take my Saturday night's meds, which is why I felt so weird and so abnormal and not myself Sunday while I was at work. Everyone at work noticed I was acting different and not being myself. Like, I couldn't smile in front of the guests. I felt this wave of depression that I haven't felt in years. It was my bipolar symptoms coming up again that
Making it
I've been
about her.
medicating myself for all this time. I realized I forgot to take my meds, and I said, you guys, I need a good night's sleep. I need to take my meds. I sent them to sleep upstairs in the guest bedroom so that I could get a good night's sleep.
So she needed a good night's sleep, so much so that she sent her 13-year-old daughter, just turned 13, basically 12, to sleep, not for the first time, but it would be for the last, with her adult man, grown man. He doesn't act like a man, but I'm saying as far as age, to share a bed with him so she could rest.
Suggested that we all sleep together in the same bed together, but not the easiest person to sleep with. She rolls around, she punches, she kicks. We have a king size bed, and she typically sleeps on one side, and she'll end up on my side when we wake up.
Okay.
So I asked her, I'm like, no, please, I need a good night's sleep. If you guys can go upstairs and let me sleep. I had asked Stephan to take her to school in the morning.
We'll go to Sunday. So Sunday you took your meds. What meds, if you don't mind me asking, what meds do you take? And how does it put you to sleep deep? Does it help you fall asleep, or does it help regulate you? What kind of happens when you take the meds?
So they do all of the above. They make me sleepy. They help me stay asleep, and they help me function. So I'm stable all day. They only work well if I've got a good night's sleep and if I've eaten with them the night before when I take them, or the night I take them. The medication is called Geodon. Generic brand is called Ziprazidone. I took my meds, and then I told them to start getting ready for bed, to start heading upstairs and get ready, because it was already almost 11 o'clock. It's past her bedtime. She needs to go to sleep. So I sent them upstairs. I think he may have come down at one point to pee before bed, and then he went back upstairs. He uses my restroom because the roommates upstairs don't want to share a restroom with a male. Yeah, so he uses my restroom. Sorry, where did I
You're fine. Sunday night he came downstairs, maybe overnight, to use the restroom.
Yeah, and then he went back upstairs and they went to sleep. Or where I think they went to sleep.
Okay.
I went to sleep. I was woken up at some time. For the longest time, I've been saying he woke me up at 8 o'clock in the morning because I assumed he was taking her to school and getting ready for school. But in reality, I don't know what time he woke me up. The sun was out a little bit. It was still a little dark. And I was very sleepy. When I got up, I was kind of drunk.
Did she say they had numbers on the doors? Huh. Very odd situation, it sounds like to me. And then did you hear her change her timing? 8 a.m. I thought he had awakened me at 8 a.m. She's correcting her narrative here a little.
But he came in to walk the dog, to put the leash on the dog and walk him.
Was the dog in the room with you?
Yes.
So did he wake you up on purpose, or was it just kind of like the causation of him opening the door and you realizing somebody was there?
Yeah, the causation of him putting the leash on the dog, because the way the dog reacted, he gets very nervous and will urinate. If you put the leash on him too directly, you have to like be nice and talk to him. Yeah, he's a very, he's a nervous dog, yeah. So I got up to try to help him, and he said, no, go back to sleep. I'm fine, I got this. And I said, are you sure? He said, yeah. So I laid back down and went to sleep. I heard noise in the kitchen, but I'm not sure who it could have been. Getting ready, but it could have been Stephan, it could have been any of my roommates.
Originally, she said it was Maddie she saw. Hi, True Crime Marley. Hey, I'm not going to be able to make it there to Valos, and I'm so disappointed. I have a nephew flying in right at 10 a.m. So are you going to get to go? Are you going to go see her? I wanted to see her so badly. They're going to be doing Lori Vallow Daybell sentencing. So we're going to watch this to the point where they talk about the possibility of Maddie being P.
I fell asleep again, and I didn't wake up, I think, until 9 o'clock in the morning.
Did you ever leave the bedroom in that time frame?
No.
So he came in, you were kind of woken up based on him interacting with the dog, but you stayed in bed, you didn't leave the bedroom. So if you woke up at like 9, so you never.
That morning.
Monday morning.
No.
So the last time you would have been Sunday evening?
Sunday.
Okay. You're fine.
I want to see her. Yeah.
Take a minute. Okay? Why you take a
Is she crying because perhaps she misses her daughter, or is she crying because she had said she saw her that morning and just admitted to law enforcement she did not? There were still people renting at the time. There was one other roommate apparently. Oh, here it says 2 roommates. Okay. Someone's saying there were 2 other roommates that were female in bedrooms 2 and 3. One roommate had a young son. Okay. Interesting. Hi, Wendy M. Hello, everyone coming in. We're watching Jen Soto's interview on the eve of Stephan Sterns' sudden plea hearing. The day before jury selection was to begin on his first trial for SA of Madeline Soto, 13. His second trial was for charges on unaliving her. He is expected to plead guilty tomorrow. There are going to be victim impact statements. Maddie's loved ones will get to talk. So I hope you'll join me tomorrow to stream it. And we are going to watch this until they talk about the possibility of Maddie being P. Watch her mother's reaction. Now, notice when her mother changed her story about seeing Maddie, she's in tears now. Is she crying because she was fibbing? I don't know.
minute? I was going to ask you earlier. Has anybody reached out to you during the time that you've been investigating this to talk about that or anything else? Negative, positive, neutral?
My best friends have all been in contact with me, just trying to help me. There's like, setting up Facebook groups, flyers,
No negative interactions with the public or anything? Nobody's like reached out with tips or accusations or anything like that?
not that I've seen. I've been avoiding social media because my family's telling me to not go on.
Would you be okay with our digital people looking at your phone to verify there's no stuff coming into socials, text, things like that?
That's fine.
Do you have the phone?
Yeah.
What they'll do is they'll plug it in, they'll do a forensic download of it so they have the data. That way they can go through it and say, you know, we did receive things, we didn't receive things, here's the communications in and out, things like that, so we can verify that for you.
That's fine.
Do you have a password on it?
030288.
030288.
Is that a birthday?
My birthday.
It's your birthday?
Yeah.
My birthday is tomorrow. Right?
Today's the first. I didn't even know.
Just to give you context, this is the day that they do find Maddie's body.
I should probably update it now. And I said, do it. Don't avoid it. Just get exactly which one.
Sure.
Oh wait, I have my phone.
When we get it back, we'll go back to it.
It's, if you need to Google it, it's the LabCorp across the street from the Limp.
That way they can get that going, so we can get it back to you before we're out here and keep it from you.
Okay.
So you said about 9 o'clock on Monday, you wake up.
Yeah. I wake up. I have a doctor's appointment. I leave sometime between 9:30 and 9:45. And I head over there. It's blood work appointment. The appointment's for 10:15, but they take a while to see me.
Where was your appointment at?
LabCorp. And do you want me to tell you exactly which one?
Sure.
Oh wait, I have my phone.
When we get it back, we'll go back to it.
It's, if you need to Google it, it's the LabCorp across the street from the Limp in Kissimmee.
Okay, got it.
Had my appointment. I finished there sometime between 11:15. Then I headed home. When I got home, Stephan was there. I had talked to him a little bit earlier while I was waiting for my blood work appointment, and he let me know, oh, I'm so sorry, I left my phone at home by accident. School, everything went great. She got up super early, got up really quick. She slept most of the way in the car. I asked her multiple times if she wanted McDonald's, but she said no. Because that was the plan, was that they were gonna stop at McDonald's that morning and go get breakfast.
Right.
He said that he had gone to the bake shop and they were closed and they didn't open. So he waited there for a while and left, and then said he was gonna go back later. When I saw him at the house, everything was normal. We were chatting, we were talking. He was acting normal. He was sitting in my computer chair, just messing around on his phone. while we were hanging out, he mentioned something along the lines of, "Oh man, I've been avoiding this phone update for a really long time. I should probably update it now." And I said, "Do it. Don't avoid it. Just get it over with." And he updates his phone and then tells me, "Oh my God, I don't know what button I just pressed, but I just factory reset my entire phone." And I said, "How the hell does that happen? That gives you options now when you reset your phone?" He goes, "Yeah, apparently I wasn't paying attention and I just pressed the button and it happened." And I said, "Oh, that's unfortunate. That sucks."
Do you believe that's what happened, or do you believe she's help covering for him trying to do that reset? Right? Yeah, her birthday. Exactly. So do you think she's trying to help protect him for doing that factory reset by saying it was an accident? Do you think she'll be there tomorrow? I do not. I think she'd be too afraid. Yeah, I think it's bowl hockey too and covering. Yes, Robin, I agree. Crossing her arms is the defense sitting. And I don't think she'll be there tomorrow. I think I don't know. I could be wrong. Let me know what you all think.
Later on, he tells me he's going to go back out, and I think this is around 12:30, 1 o'clock.
Still on Monday?
Yes, still Monday. 12:30 in the afternoon, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. He tells me he's going to go back out. He's going to stop at a few gaming shops, and then he'll meet me at the house at 2:30 so we can get together. He left. I hung out in the house for a while. Just waiting for 2:30 to roll around. 2:30 rolls around, and I'm already calling Stephan, and he's not picking up his phone. 2:30 comes, I leave. About 10 minutes later, I get a phone call from him going, "I just got back home. I left my phone home again. I'm so sorry. How long ago did you leave?" And I said, "About 10 minutes ago." He goes, "I'm so sorry. I missed it. I really wanted to go with you." And I was like, "It's fine." I figured he wasn't going to make it because when I looked at the time when he left and said he was going to visit 3 shops, I didn't think he had enough time to visit them. He told me while he was gone that he got a flat tire somewhere on 182. The wheel just shredded and fell apart. So he was changing the tire, and it took him a really long time to do it. He said he hurt his thumb while changing the tire, like the frame or something slipped and something pinched his finger, and he ended up having to yank it out. And he said he hurt his finger.
I want to touch on something real quick. When you were calling him, he eventually told you that he left his phone there. Did you hear the phone at the house?
No. If it was anywhere, it would have been upstairs and I wouldn't have heard it. It would have been in the guest
Do
bedroom.
you typically go upstairs?
Who, me?
Yes.
Only if I'm doing laundry.
That was all. I was just curious if you had heard the phone when you were trying to call him that day.
I didn't.
I think he just caught her, right? Oh, Deanna, from who? Interesting. If you're in the bushes, someone said she doesn't think Jen will be there tomorrow because she truly believes her life may be in danger. And we're asking from whom. I'm going to skip forward, take a second to find the place I want us to listen to.
what the truth is, so it has to be fake. This is demise for the past, let's say, 5 years, right? But her going missing, her disappearance, if you have knowledge of how it happened, where it happened, an inclination, that emotion's not going to feel sincere because you're already aware of what happened.
I would.
It's almost becomes a lie at that point.
If I knew anything, I promise you, I would tell you. Like, I am willing to take a lie detector test, whatever the fuck you want, but I don't know anything. He's never mentioned anything. I've never seen any signs. I tried watching her like a hawk. I thought I was doing a good job, but I wasn't. I was oblivious to everything. 4 years?
Minimum. That's just how that far back the cloud goes. And I find it hard to believe for me that you were so worried about how many pills she took at night, but not where she slept or what relationship she was. His interest in her.
I thought
Bingo.
we were all safe. I thought because than that he hadn't shown me anything so far. Like, everything seems fine. Like, he seemed like he treated her like
he treats you. In his mind.
It's so fucking disgusting.
So now he's in jail because of what we found on his phone, not because somebody came forward and reported that he was abused.
No, I know.
She's not old enough to consent. She's not old enough to have a thought process to even want anything that was happening to her. It's abuse. So he's in jail for that. But something caused what happened, right? We searched murder because we can call it a murder. She didn't die naturally. She didn't overdose. She didn't have a heart attack. We circled murder on Monday. Something had to cause that. He's been having unrestricted sexual activity for a long time. He's getting what he wants from her, probably from you, and who knows whoever else. Right?
Oh my God.
So it's not like he woke up or went to bed Sunday and he was like, you know what? I'm done with this, but I'm going to kill her. Something happened. People don't just wake up and like, you know what? They leave people, they break up with people, but usually things cause people to snap. Now what? You know what? And I'm in trouble, or I feel like I'm going to, or him being out. We can go even worse. She's pregnant.
That's what questions last night led me to believe when we started talking about her period.
I was told that her and her friend, and granted, I'm male, never had a period, but that somebody found it weird that they were no longer on the same cycle. Could be different because she's a teenage girl. Could be that she missed her period. Have you ever found a pregnancy test at home that wasn't yours?
I have 2 underneath the bathroom sink, but I haven't seen if they're still there or not.
Okay. But you haven't seen any used ones in the trash?
No.
Their relationship hasn't changed?
No.
Okay. So what do you think happened Sunday? Other than him killing her, what do you think made him snap?
I don't know. Theories, I keep hearing
Tell me your theories, because here's the deal. We don't go home until she's found.
No, I know.
So what are your theories?
What I've heard is, what if she upset him?
Did he just say you don't go home until she's found? Good for him. Good for him.
And threatened to tell me and say that she was going to tell me, and he needed to shut that down. That's the only thing.
What do you think?
I believe. I don't want to believe he killed her. But from what you're telling me, he must have killed her Sunday night and snuck her body out in the morning. That photo you guys showed me of her stuck in the car.
You don't want to believe he killed her.
I want to believe she's still alive and that she got kidnapped, but that doesn't seem like that's the
Well, that's
case
not
at
what-
all.
yeah.
I know. My brain just wants to believe something else. I just want to believe she's still alive and she's out there.
Did he tell you he fucked up?
No. He acted so normal that day. He was like, I'm so impressed. We got out of the house so early. Like she made great time. We had so much time to go to McDonald's, but she didn't want to. His story was so fun. Like every detail was so believable. He's just been lying this whole time. Like
What about that day in the car when you offered him a lawyer? Did he disclose anything to you there that made you feel like, oh fuck, he needs a lawyer?
No. He kept acting like he didn't know what was happening. And I'm like, don't you see forensics? Don't you see they took your phone? Like, something's happening. Like, I think they're gonna pin this on you. And I'm like, in my head, I'm going, they have the wrong guy. Like, they're just honing in on the last person who saw her. But no, you guys knew more.
You never said, what did you do?
I've never asked him any of that. I still, even up until when we got here to the police station, I was convinced that he hadn't done anything to her at all.
Wow. So there's Maddie's story. Please give this a thumbs up. That is Maddie's story, what Maddie lived with. And tomorrow there has been hello, Ramona White. There has been a sudden hearing filed 15 minutes before close of business on Friday. And it will occur tomorrow, 1:30 Eastern. Be here. We can watch it as a family. What I'm hoping for is that if he is going to indeed plead guilty, hi, great-grandma too, that this judge will make him speak his horrid sins out loud on his own. Brian Koberger pled guilty, and the judge said, do you plead guilty? And then the judge told him the acts. I want to hear Stephan Sterns say him. I want to hear Brian Koberger say him too. Now, tomorrow, will he plead guilty to both, just to the SA? I don't know. The trial, if he does not plead guilty tomorrow, the jury selection begins on Tuesday. As long as they're streaming it, we'll stream it. Okay, we are going to pause, though, for Brian Koberger's this week because his sentencing is this week with those impact statements on Wednesday, possibly needing Thursday, they said. They're not sure. Oh, Wendy, well, you can come back and watch. Yeah. We'll have it on. So whenever you can get here. Estimated time is 1:30 Eastern time tomorrow. Hello, great-grandmom. So hopefully we'll see what happens. But if he does plead guilty, I'm just hoping he has to explain himself, not just agree to what he did. So that will be tomorrow. There will be victim impact statements. And then Wednesday, we have Brian Koberger sentencing. I will be streaming that as well. We watched that as a family last time, the hearing where he pled guilty. Now it is the sentencing. We will see victim impact statements, and there are many. So it may go, the prosecution said they think they can get it done in a day, but if not, they are allowing for that second day. I have not checked my emails yet. So I certainly will. Thank you all so much for being here. I appreciate you. I will see you tomorrow, 1:30 Eastern, where we see what Stephan Sterns is going to do. And we want justice for Maddie. Justice for Madeline Soto, 13, barely 13. And this guy took her life. What happened? What made him snap? I hope they make him tell us. Now, will they release after this? If there was indeed a P, right? Hi, Little Red. So tomorrow we're going to hopefully hear a little bit more information. We'll see if he pleads guilty to both, one, none, who knows. I think this will be his last plea deal. So if he's going to try it, he won't probably get another plea before the second trial, which does have the D-pen on the table. So if he wants to save his life, if indeed he got convicted, this would be his chance to take a deal and plead guilty if he is. So everyone, I thank you for being here. I will see you tomorrow, 1:30 Eastern. Justice for Madeline Soto.